I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about our Kubota L35 tractor loader backhoe combo. So we're actually trading this machine in later this week for a just tractor loader combo. But I wanted to kind of go over the controls, kind of give an overview of the what we think about it, and just kind of a general walkthrough on this machine before we get rid of it. It's been a good machine. We're not getting rid of it because of anything negative. I just feel like the money can be spent better with a bigger tractor loader and less on the backhoe portion, given that we have a Mini X now. So I'll go ahead and dig in and we'll go through the machine. Okay, so here is the Kubota L35. It uses a TL720 loader on the front and a BT900 backhoe on the back. And that'll give you some good specs to pull up. We'll probably link to tractor specs for you. That way you can get the digging depth and reach and everything of the BT900, as well as the lift capacity of the TL720. So here is the bucket. This actually did not come with a quick attach. This is a WR long quick attach, which we will probably link to. This was about $1,000, I want to say. And there's the model number, APUM. And WR Long makes that. And that's a great quick attach. So it was just a normal pin style bucket attach before. And they're very easy. Of course, I keep it well greased, but they're very easy to operate. And this is my Caterpillar 72-inch bucket. Now, with this bucket on this machine, this bucket actually weighs 635 pounds. So I believe the original Kubota bucket weighed about 350, 400 pounds. So with this bucket on this machine, you are actually losing a couple hundred pounds of payload. But I sold the original bucket because I was going to have to weld on the quick attach plate. And in addition to that, I used the proceeds of the bucket to pay for the quick attach. So, and I had a couple extra buckets, and so this is just the bucket I put on the machine. It's my smallest skid loader bucket, and that 200 pounds of payload is just not going to kill me. So, and sorry, it's been storming. It's kind of a windy day, so I hope that the video is not too windy. It's been, for the time that we've owned it, it's been a pretty good machine. We are the second owner of the machine. It only has 1,234 hours, almost 1,235 hours on the machine. It's this is 2021. This is March of 2021. So I would say the machine's approximately 19, 20 years old at this time. And it's held up pretty well. Obviously, it's a little faded, but that's just the orange. I haven't really had any significant problems with the machine. Almost every cylinder on this machine I've had to have resealed, but that's an age thing, probably less than it is an hour thing. But other than that, it's a Kubota diesel. It starts up every time, so it's a really great machine. And the wetness here that you can see, I actually just resealed that cylinder, so I made a mess when I replaced that. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you some running video. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go over the controls a little bit. I'm going to talk kind of loud because just in case there's any wind noise, I want to make sure you guys can hear me pretty well. So this is, I believe they call the power shift or the glide shift transmission. So you've got a clutch over here. You don't have to use that clutch except for like engaging and disengaging the PTO. So this shifter right here, middle is neutral. It goes up for drive forward, and it goes back for reverse, and you don't have to use the clutch at all for doing that. And then over here on the left hand side, it has 8 speeds. So it's got neutral, first, second, third, fourth, and so on. Those gears are operable forward and backwards. So you have 8 forward gears and 8 backwards gears. You've got your seatbelt right here. And like I said, this is the clutch. That is your 4-wheel drive engage. This is a 4-wheel drive tractor, so that's to switch between 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. This right here is your diff lock. And this is, I think, tension of the seat. I'm going to guess that's the tension of the seat. And then this right here is your PTO engage. So you clutch and you pull that down to the right. That engages your PTO shaft. You do have to clutch to do that. This is, I don't remember what that does. I want to say that tilts the steering wheel, but that might be locked up. That might be locked up. I think that tilts the steering wheel. Don't quote me on that. Key goes on here. I'm going to let that key set so it can run the glow plugs. This is your brakes here. They interchange, okay? What I mean to say is that they operate together. They can be locked, I mean. So if you flip this tab up, you can operate the brakes individually for better turning. Or you can take this and operate them together. And that way, whichever one you press, it equal braking across. So, and then you've got a parking brake. So you push this down, pull this lever up. That'll lock the pedal down. You see how it sets further down? So that's your parking brake. This is a throttle right here. Okay. And then on the right hand side, you've got your PTO arms up and down. By the way, guys, I've never used this, but this has something to do with the PTO, obviously, because it's the same icon. I've actually never used it. I thought maybe it was a seat. So sorry about that. But it's got the same icon, so it must be with the PTO arms. And I do know that these are raise and low the PTO arms because I have used the PTO on this machine. So, and then this is your throttle. And you can actually see that it actually moves that pedal too. So you've got basically a momentary throttle, and this will, be like a steady throttle. So that is kind of an overview of the controls. And then here you've got the loader stick, right? And so you've got up, down, you can lock forward for float. It does have a float. And then dump and curl the bucket. So, but it's great. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this thing up. Okay. That switch right there is your 4 ways. And then the top part of this is for your headlights. Idle that down. Okay, and now I'm going to show you how to take
the backhoe off. So what you do is you put the outrigger down a little bit. And I'm just gonna barely get them on the ground. Okay. I've found that makes it easier to pull these out a little bit. See that? And you do that on both sides. Sometimes it gets a little stiff. There we go. Like I said, you just kind of got to find where it wants to be. Okay. And once those are disconnected, that's unlatching this latch here, okay? And then so you put the bucket down, and we're gonna extend it out a little ways. We'll put the bucket on the ground. Okay. And then you get to do all of this under engine power, which is really, really efficient. So I'm gonna put these down just a little bit, I think. Okay. You see that there? We're almost got it out of that latching mechanism. See that? I'm gonna let this down just a little bit more. Oh, wrong way. Okay. Now we're completely out of that latch mechanism. See that? Now I'm going to lift up the outriggers. There we go. And I'm basically bringing it out of that hook. Now there's enough slack on these cables that we are going to pull the machine forward about a foot. Pull it forward about a foot. And here you can see that it's off. Okay. Now you can actually, before you turn off the machine, you can actually set this level if you want it level. I'm going to be hooking this right back up, so I'm just going to leave it right here. But so then what you do is you unhook this, okay, and then you unhook this. All right, and then the other side of the machine loops back. Okay. That creates a continuous flow loop. Got that? this side, to protect it, you can either cap them, but what I like to do to protect it from weather is I just like to flip this right around and attach these two quick attaches back to each other, just like so. And you're ready to go. Now, you want to leave this lever pushed in if you're running the backhoe or the loader. You only pull this out if you're using something on the PTO. If you're using the PTO, you pull that out. Otherwise, you leave it pushed in. Okay. Here is your hydraulic fluid check and your hydraulic fluid fill. And then there's your PTO. And I have arms for this thing as well. So that would be where your fully functional PTO, your arms come out. You've got the lift arms here, and you've got the sway links also at the bottom. And I've got all those components for this tractor as well. And I've actually used it to run that 30 or 72-inch tiller you see over there next to that dump trailer. So that is how you take it off. And you know, you use the machine power for the entire thing, so which is pretty cool. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and hook this back up.
I hope that that's been useful. If you are looking at an L series Kubota backhoe tractor, I know this one's older. It's a 35. I think they then made the 39, then they made the 43, 45, and I think they're now up to the 47. The L47 on their construction tier, which is the L tier of the backhoe combos. So I hope you found this useful, whether you're just looking for how to operating or how the backhoe comes off, or if you just want a kind of an overview of this tractor. I hope that this has been helpful. If you liked the video, definitely give it a thumbs up and give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll continue bringing more videos of things we do on the farm. Thanks.